Hey everyone, my name's Cara. Been a minute since I've been on this channel. I've been wanting to do some Sims builds that are desert themed for a while because I'm living in the desert. I've been in the Sonoran Desert for the last year, so I had to do this as a speed build. It's better that it is anyway because I was building for 2 hours, but I was going to originally do this as a commentary while I was building, like a let's build, but I'm having some tech issues, not a new thing for me. My webcam wouldn't work when I was trying to record the footage, so I'm recording them separately. So without further ado, let's jump into what will be a speed build. So here we are at Johnny Zest's, because this is the only lot in my game that starts out as a trailer, and this is the type of place that I'm living currently. So I wanted to do my mom's house as best I could in The Sims. I have base game and only the things that have been given away for free in the last year. So this build uses base game, the backyard stuff pack, the Blooming Rooms kit, and I don't know if I used anything from the other things. The Romantic Garden stuff pack was given away for free recently, and some other things, but oh, and My First Pet stuff, but I didn't use those. I don't think I used anything from Romantic Garden, but I definitely used backyard stuff and Blooming Rooms. So I started by deleting everything, as you can see, pretty much everything, except for some items that I knew I was going to keep, and then I started moving things around a little bit to better fit the layout. So this is actually an interesting place in real life to try to approximate in The Sims, and I could not do it one-to-one, of course, we never can, but I would have needed some more platform stuff, and the platforms don't work like the best anyway, so you'll see there's a few different parts in here that I struggle. I was going to put awnings there, but then I realized, no, I just need a whole roof, and I don't do that until way later. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the windows here, because actually this room at the far end, which is my room, that's where we are right now, it's actually up a few steps from the main level, and if you go around and down a few steps, there's actually a room beneath this. And I'm sure I could figure out a way to do it in The Sims, like making one of them technically a basement and connecting them that way. But I did not want to take the time to figure all of that out for this video, so I don't have that here. This is a very close approximation, but also in some ways nothing like what it really looks like. So one thing that I noticed because of the scale is that in order to make it realistic to where I've been staying, it ends up being much longer than Johnny Zest's original place. So you'll see eventually I extended a lot, but I started with my room at the end, and even my room is impossible to approximate because there's a lot of built-in stuff in this room. Like, the bed is on a built-in platform in the middle. That dresser that's across from me is actually a built-in. So I end up doing it with a smaller thing because, as you can see here, I couldn't fit the chair for my desk right next to it. I didn't use move objects or anything for this build. And so really, in order to make it look furniture-wise the way that it really is, I would have had to extend the width of this house by at least one. But instead, I ended up using a single tile dresser, single tile window, and then I'm going to put some walls on either side. That's this wall right behind me. I just knocked on the wall and startled my cat. It's okay, that was me. But yeah, this wall behind me is one of those. It's like a divider wall. And then around the bed is actually pushed in and recessed a little bit because there are cabinets that come out. So I couldn't really do any of that in what I have in the game and what is currently available in the build tools, but whatever. We do what we can. We just have fun with it. So you can see here I did a little platform as a step down to approximate the way that you actually have to step up to my room, and my room has a much shorter ceiling because of that. This build also starts with medium wall height, and I think I do eventually change it to small wall height because that just fits better for the rest of the house. But I did use the platform tool to kind of raise this room at the end up a little bit. And as you can see, it deleted the dresser that I had. That keeps happening multiple times throughout the build, as I'm sure you know if you play The Sims. Every time I do anything, it moves half of what I've already done. So yeah, there's a dresser there. Those two little alcoves at the end are closets. This is actually a closet. There's a closet bar above me, but I don't use it as a closet, obviously. This is where my desk is. So the other side is actually a closet, and we have a couple of closet items in the base game, so I was able to do that. But otherwise, I was just trying to put a few things here and there that sort of look like how I have things. I wish I could stack these book clutter items, but I can't. The Book Nook kit comes with stackable books, and I think some other kits or packs come with stackable books and magazines and stuff like that too, but I don't have any of those, so I just have the clutter items and they don't stack. But actually on that shelf above my desk is where I have all my tarot cards and oracle cards in their boxes or bags, and so this shelf above me is full, like to here above my head, with tarot and oracle decks and some books. And then the rest of it has like my incense and stuff like that sort of stored. And then I have some tech things on the other side. But I don't have enough clutter to make that make sense. I also have some other little shelves and stuff like that in the room, but there's not a whole lot of room in here in real life. And there's even less room to make it look exactly the way it does in The Sims. So I left the rest of it pretty bare. And then I moved on to my little bathroom. The bathroom changes a lot because, like, here I remembered, oh yeah, there's actually a wall there. It's not just a thing next to the sink. It's not like freestanding. It's a built-in a wall situation. So I did that. There's a cabinet, but there's more space, and there's kind of like a weird little bump out. I think I tried to do that little bump out later in the build, but then I decided it's not worth it for it to be in The Sims to have that little extra thing. So just know that it's very small, but in real life, it is a little bit wider, so I have like a small table in there as well that's like across from the toilet, so I can put some things on it. And then I started trying to figure out the spacing for the kitchen. And I'm realizing now when I look back at it, and there are already a few things after I did this build, I went out into the house and realized, oh, I didn't do that, and I should have done it like that. That makes more sense to how it really is. For example, the living room, when we get there, the spacing is very weird, but if I had done this thing, which I'll talk about later when we get there, it would actually be a little bit closer, and it probably would have helped me with the spacing issues a little bit, but I didn't think about it. So I'm realizing now, for example, I could have made the counters brown because they are actually wooden cabinets. Like it's natural wood with like stain on it. Because my mom is very into like the natural rustic wood, like log cabin vibe. I didn't do that. For whatever reason, I just didn't even think to change the cabinet colors to anything other than this. So I might change that later. I don't even think I changed the color of the fridge and the stove, did I? I eventually must have. Maybe I did. I don't know. I put a little drinks tray there as the centerpiece because there is like a centerpiece there. There's a bunch of stuff. Obviously, we can't clutter all of the counters, but this is me just kind of trying to figure out how it works. And the L-shaped island that comes around there, in real life, my mom actually built that, and the part with the bar stools along the outside that's like going horizontally toward the refrigerator is actually just like a piece of wood going across, and then it has a cabinet on either side that are what it rests on, but it's open in the middle, and the bar stools actually slide fully underneath the counter as storage. So there's 4 bar stools. So it's actually much cooler in real life, and my mom built it. But this is The Sims. So that's the approximation. Now I'm working on her bathroom. She has an ensuite in the primary bedroom. And so as you can see, I just had to extend the length of the house again to fit in what's actually going on down here. Couldn't do her closets. She has like big built-in closets. I don't have any packs that have those items in The Sims. You can do that in Sims 4. Those items do exist, just not in anything that I have. So I'm trying to do her bathroom as close as possible, and I had it looking really good, but then the way that it was, you couldn't put a door. Of course, you have to have space for the door in the game, so I had to extend it. So now it looks weird to me. That sink should actually be like in counters, but there's just no way to do it the way that it really is in The Sims. So it would have to be like 3 tiles wide, and then it would look way too big. Everything's really very small. And then it's only just now that I finally get around to adding the addition. There's an additional room off the side of this, and here's where it starts to get really weird, because there is a back door over there to the left that I put on the original wall, and then there's a door off of the addition that goes into a fenced in, screened in, fully enclosed with screens sort of sunroom situation. Maybe we should call it a shade room, because it's the desert. Nobody really needs a sun room in the desert. You need a shade room. I skipped a little bit here because it took me a while to figure out what fences I wanted to try to use to approximate this, because the fences are actually much taller. And I used to have the Eco Lifestyle pack when I shared a game with my ex and my ex-roommate. Eco Lifestyle has taller fences that are what I would have used if I had that pack still, but I don't. I'm starting over from base game and just what's free. So it took me a while to figure out the fences. And then here I'm trying to figure out how to do this room, because I can put stairs, which is I'm starting to do here. I can put stairs that go down. So I was able to lower this added room. It's the coffee room. This is where the hutch is that stores all of our tea and coffee things, and the coffee makers down there. So we call it the coffee room, but it's also kind of my mom's office. She has a desk in there. But anyway, just for the ease of like telling you what room I'm talking about, we call that the coffee room. So the coffee room is a few steps down. I was able to do that. But then I forgot it doesn't bring down everything else, and like with the door, because there's a foundation on the house. So I think I should have just moved the entire thing down off of a foundation, and then the rest of the house should just be moved up a couple steps with the platforms, and then this coffee room could have had a ground level door going outside. But I was just trying to do everything as close as I could at the time, and I didn't think of that, or I did, and I just didn't want to do it. I don't remember, because I built this like maybe a week ago now. And I was trying to use this item as the hutch, but it would not go against the wall. And I don't know if that's because, again, I used the platforms to make it go further down, so it didn't want to attach against it. I don't know. So I just ended up building it with some wooden counters. And this is actually a wooden countertop that would look better in the kitchen, maybe. I don't know. And this is where we keep the tea and things. So we used this little tea shelf item from Blooming Rooms. And then I finally put the coffee pot over there. It's the same coffee pot that just originally was in Johnny's house, because I never deleted it. There is a lamp there. That chair is actually a rocking chair. And there are rocking chairs in The Sims 4, but again, they only come with DLC that I do not have. That little side table is actually like a cabinet, but side table works for now. There are shelves there, but I think I end up taking those shelves away because of the way that I decided to do the plants in this room. So there's a ton of plants in this room because there are windows on both sides, and so the sun comes in really nice and bright, but that also means that the coffee room is really hot. So actually right now, there is a blanket stapled up in front of the door that go in front of like where those stairs go down to try to help keep the cool air in the rest of the house, because the coffee room doesn't have AC, and it's just really, really hot. But so normally you would take that door out into this enclosed area. And if I had the greenhouse kit, that comes with the full-on like screened windows. That is one of the kits that appeals to me for that reason, because I like being able to make like screened in patios or porches. Those are something that are very popular in real life where I'm originally from. I'm from so-called Ohio, and now I'm living in the desert, so it's very different. People do have like shade rooms with shade screening up around them though, so I think it still kind of applies to a desert home. But screened in patios and porches are very popular in like the Northeast, in the area that I'm from anyway. I know that they're not as big of a thing everywhere, because when the greenhouse kit came out and I was watching like different Simmers videos that I like, people in their comments were like confused about what those items are for and how to use them. But that would be what I would have done for that room. So now I'm back working on my room because I noticed all of the stuff on the walls came off. I think because I was trying to adjust the foundation a bit ago, so everything moved and I didn't notice. But anyway, so that outside space that just has a white fence around it, I put the stairs up to the door, but then I end up just deciding to keep just the single back door, and I changed the door so that I could make it a thinner set of stairs because I didn't want it to be double. That's too much. And this is actually a little laundry area here in the hallway, but I don't have the laundry day stuff pack, so I don't have a washer and dryer in the game. But I just tried to put some stuff here that would approximate the way that we use this section of the hallway, which is like cleaning storage. There's some closet space. There's also like a pantry cupboard situation, but then I start playing with the actual wallpaper and stuff, because up till now it's just been what was already there. And I think eventually, I don't know if it's this one or if I change it again, but eventually I find one that has a matching wall color with the paneling and with just the bottom like baseboard trim, so that I could make it the same wall color throughout, but certain areas of the house have paneling and some don't. There's actually a lot more going on though, because like on that wall where I just placed that, which I do end up extending, yeah, there we go, because there wasn't enough room to make this look right. The walls behind that little like side table that I just placed there by the front door, the walls behind it are actually like one of those stick-on wallpapers that you can make it look different ways, and it looks like river stones, and there are like wooden columns on either side of it that set off the river stones from the rest of the wall. But I didn't do that either, so that's what I mean. It's like after the 2 hours of building this and trying to get it sort of approximately to a place where it looked like the place where I live, I realized all these other little details that I could go back in and do. And so I think I will go back and do these things, but I didn't yet. So just know that there's actually like a lot more going on, which I think is always true, like I said, when it's trying to do a real place in The Sims. Okay, the living room really annoyed me because nothing would fit properly. Again, I wasn't using move objects, which is part of the problem. But also just trying to make things look centered, it didn't make any sense. It looks like everything is so far apart as well. I don't have the coffee table in yet at this point, but putting the coffee table in sort of helps. But what I actually should have done, how it is in real life, is that sort of bay window area with the couch in front of it is actually a pop-out. There's like a whole section that pops further out of the wall, and the couch sits in that. So I really should have made another little like cutout in the room, just one tile deep, and the couch sits in that. And the side tables are in there with it too, but I would need move objects to do that for sure. But yeah, I didn't even think to do that. I don't know why But that explained why I was having such a hard time trying to fit this in. And I'm like, then there's this weird space in the corners. Like, what's this? It's because in real life that's a bump out. So it's just different. And then there's a bunch of art. There's a bunch of shelves like up toward the ceiling that have a lot of things on them. But there's not a lot of things in the Sims base game and in the couple of packs that I have that fit on the shelves that we have, which is annoying. But okay, yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out, that's actually a desk. It's a little roll top desk in real life, but there's no, like, it's not a desk that we sit at with a chair. So I just made it a bookshelf because that's functionally how we use it. It just stores things, and there's books and papers and office supplies in it. And there is a lamp on top of it, and there is art behind it. So I did that. I did put a ceiling fan in. It's one of the new ones with the plumb bob, but I don't do the rest of them till later. Now I start trying to figure out the roof, and this is where I kind of start coming back out to the outside and figuring out what the hell am I going to do with this, because it's a really cute space, but I just didn't know how to really approximate it. So, and actually I think it should be white, but there wasn't a white like corrugated roof texture, but it is like a metal roof. So I left it metal because that's pretty realistic. Got my columns. I haven't used columns much since they did the column update, and I know what you're thinking. That update came out years ago. Yeah, that's how infrequently I've had time to actually play The Sims instead of watching people play it. So this is one of the first times that I've actually like used columns. And here I was considering using a gate. I end up just deciding to get rid of that section of the fence and just let it be open. So this is not how that part is in real life, and it is not open like that, how you can just like see over the fence. The white fence part is all completely built up with shade screen. But, you know, again, it's approximate to The Sims. And this is a little shed. There's a little storage shed in the back. And I do end up putting a woodworking table in there because it's kind of like a utility shed, craft shed. My mom's very arts and craftsy. That's definitely where I got it from. So we have all kinds of odds and ends for various types of crafts and tools and things like that out there. So I end up putting the woodworking shed, but I didn't do, or the woodworking table in the shed, but I didn't do a whole lot else with the shed yet at this point. So I realized I wanted to make the shed a little bit smaller, and then I was like, what do I do with the backyard? Because the backyard really is kind of bare at the moment, but I figured for gameplay purposes I should have something. So I put a bird feeder. There isn't one in that area of the yard, but there are around the rest of the house. So I just stuck one in the back. Because I did, okay, and when I got backyard stuff and everything like that for free, I did record videos playing through those, and I never ended up getting them edited or uploaded. So at this point, I'm just like, well, I'll just incorporate them into other videos. But so I really like the gameplay with the bird feeder from Backyard Stuff. And I've also been downloading all of the free things for my mom's game, because she does also have the game downloaded since now base game is free. So any of this other stuff that's been coming out for free, I've been making sure we both get it. And I showed her the bird feeder because I thought she would really like that. And one of the other reasons that I really like Backyard Stuff, and one of the reasons that it inspired me to try to build this house as just like a desert style house, is that it comes with, and I'll get them out in a minute here, the wind chimes. Because people in the desert and like people in the neighborhood that my mom lives in especially, because that's what I have direct experience with, love wind chimes. There's so many. Okay, so this is where I noticed that I never changed the colors of anything on the front of the house, so everything was still blue. So I'm changing it, and I'm using the fence that lights up a little bit, because there are actually solar lights on the little fence. They're not super bright, but I don't think the ones in the game are either, so it makes sense. But Oh yeah, and there is a guitar in the living room, but there was no room in here to put it where it actually goes. So I made sure there is still a guitar, but where that guitar is sitting actually is where there is a water bowl for the animals, but I don't have cats and dogs as a pet, so I couldn't use any of the pet stuff. So now I'm looking specifically at plants. I do use some blooming rooms things, which I was really excited to use because I haven't built anything using that kit yet. Again, I downloaded it when it was free, but I haven't really played with it. So I was excited to see what's in there. Oh yeah, I got rid of the shelves. I put some art up, and because there actually are a bunch of little plants on a shelf in the coffee room, but I couldn't do that in The Sims because there's not enough of the plants that will sit on those shelves. So I just decided to do something different. It still looks cute, but like this room in particular doesn't really, to me, look much like the real room, except for there is a desk in this corner, there is a coffee machine in that center area, there is a chair, there are plants, right? There are big windows on either side, but it's just not exactly, how we can do it. So then I started putting some clutter on the stuff in the hallway and on the desk, and making it sort of look like we use it. Try to figure out a little bit of what's going on in the primary bedroom back here. Again, that dresser, I think that dresser is a built-in, and then there's built-in closets next to it, but the closets do have mirrored doors, so I made sure to get the mirrors in there. Putting some things in the shed as I go. I got so distracted with putting little boxes in the shed that for a while I forgot that I actually want to put the woodworking table in, so I do end up putting that later. But here's where I found the wind chimes, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do the wind chimes. So in real life, there's a carport out front. I didn't build the whole carport either. I could easily with another roof and some columns. I just didn't do it yet. But that sort of connects to the little roof that's in front of the front door, or not in front of it, but over it. The little roof that I built over the front door area, that actually extends over like into a carport, and there are so many wind chimes. Now I'm also figuring out where the fans are going to go, and this little bit right here is very true to life because the fan in that room is not connected to the light, so the fans and the lights are in different places, and that's what I had to do because I don't have move objects on. So I couldn't layer a light in the fan like a lot of people do, but that's actually how it is in real life. The lights are in a different spot than the fan, so that's just a funny coincidence. Took a little break here to figure out some lot traits. I put bracing breezes and homey on it, and that's where I remember, oh yeah, there's the woodworking table, because I actually wanted to get that in there. Putting a little easel in the back. There is not actually an easel there, but I do have an easel, and I have a lot of my painting stuff stored in the room that is below my room, and also some of it in my little bathroom. So there was no room to put things where they actually exist in the house, but I still got them in there, so gameplay-wise it could be done. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I want to do with the tiling. I was going to cut that off on a diagonal, but I could not remember what the hotkey is for doing the triangle tiles. And I didn't stop to look it up. I was just playing. So we've got some garden plots in the back, some planters, because why not? And then I am actually going to do the landscaping as a separate video because I want to do a desert landscaping video, but again, hadn't gotten around to it yet. So this is a good way to kind of move into that. And again, I had been building for 2 hours, 2+ hours, so I didn't want to go on and do all of the landscaping here. But I just put a few palm trees in for now. There are palm trees here in the desert. There is a big tree off to the side. And then I was just having fun sizing up some cacti and putting some cacti around the place because the default sizes of these cacti in the game are quite small. Like most of them around here are bigger because they're just more established. They've been around for longer, I guess. But yeah, so I'm going to do a separate video about landscaping, but I just threw a few things around. Then I also remembered I hadn't really been changing the lighting very much throughout this build process, so I go back through and add lights so that when it is dark, there are lights around the place, because there should be. There's a hose over there on the wall where it should be, so there's a few details that are pretty, spot on, and other things that you just can't do, and so that's fine. This is just about the end of it here. I'm adding some twinkle lights because there are twinkle lights all around this room in real life, all around that area. But that's pretty much it for now. So that's what it looks like at night. Do I cycle back through? No. So let's see if it's actually going to work today. So far, so good. The other day I was trying to record with my face cam and the camera just would not work at all, which is why I did the video the way that I did. But it might be because I was trying to use a new USB microphone that was messing everything up. So here we are back in the daytime in the game with what I actually have so far. And now there are cacti in the way. So I haven't done the landscaping. I'm not going to be doing it right now, but there are some gnomes. Those gnomes were already on the lot, and my mom does have garden gnomes, so I just left them there. But let's just do a couple of things real quick, like, does this come in a color that looks more like the actual counters? I mean, kind of that, but because that's too dark. They're wooden tops, but it's also wooden cabinets. I might just have to use completely different cabinets. But that's how it looks if I at least make them brown, and then this is the same, but they're lighter than this is the thing. It's not that dark chocolatey brown. But for now it will be. Oh, I never did the wall. So this wall is actually like a fake brick. It is red though, isn't it? It's like fake red brick. It looks kind of silly in this version, I'm not gonna lie. And this is a round column, so it's not going to look right, and it's not going to let me put it where I want to anyway. So, but there would be like wooden sort of columns in places. Let's at least change the colors of that stuff. I can't believe I didn't even, oh, this wall is not painted. I painted the other side of it, but I didn't get the kitchen wall side. There are, of course, cabinets up here too. What else was like a glaring omission that I feel like I need to fix right now? Well, there's a lot more space in these rooms than there really would be. I can't do the closets. Oh, Mom has a TV. It's actually on like a little fake fireplace, but there's fake fireplaces all throughout the house. I didn't do any of those, but we'll give her a little TV and we'll just size it up. Is my TV still there? Yeah, so my TV is actually up on the wall, but there was no way to get that in a single tile space. I would have to completely change like how the room is laid out. So there's actually like cabinets here, there's like a built-in here, so yeah, doesn't actually look like this, but that's okay. Let's do the stone wall. It's kind of exactly this, not gonna lie. And I did notice that the table, I thought it was much wider. It's not. It just feels like it takes up a wider space in real life. It could be more like a single tile, but I don't know. And then I don't think I have anything that looks, yeah, it won't let me put a column there, again, without move objects or whatever. I don't know, but it won't let me do it. So the other thing I wanted to try real quick is if we actually did this room. I guess let's just do it as a 2. It won't let me put the table there without move objects, which I could just turn move objects on, but I'm also curious, will it let me fit any floor lamps in there? No, because I have this like in the center. I could put these. That one's too big, this one's too big. So anything that has a full square footprint, it won't let me. But I could put these little ones with just alt placing. So I say we just do that. There actually are tables here, but... And then this chair can go a little further back, which is where it's supposed to be. And then this chair can go a little further back into this corner where it's struggling, but is supposed to be. More or less, you know. There we go. And then the guitar is actually supposed to go over here. And it'll do it. Yay! Now there's room for the guitar. And there's shelves up here with a bunch of stuff. But I'm not doing all that for now. There's actually a little side table here with a lamp. Oh, I should have kept the little table with the lamp. It's actually a tiny, tiny round table, but I don't think we're going to have that. Yeah, these are all too big. These are all too big. Now I got to get my window back. Window! There we go. Get the window back. So that's a little bit more what it actually looks like. There is also a huge rug, but I have not even tried to get rugs in here. There's also art. Did I alt place that? I must have alt placed that other one. Let's just get another one on here. Yeah, I must have alt placed that because it was in a weird spot. We got our ceiling fans, we got some plants, we have a different whole thing going on in the outside. That's okay. I'm not going to try to fix the whole foundation situation, but, you know, we made it work for starting with what we had. Also, there's not actually functional windows in this room. There are windows, but they're all blocked up. I don't think there's one in the back, but I thought the Sims version of this could be improved by a little window in the back there. I don't actually know what color the roof is. I'm just going to make it all this lighter color for now. Because there's not a white, right? Yeah, there's just a gray, but I don't like the gray vibe. So we're going to go with this sort of coppery, bronzy color. And I do now need a little one. I think that looks decent as far as the angle. And that's probably about right. I don't really know what the side of the house looks like because there's another trailer, like, right here. Like, there's literally that much space, and then there's just another person's yard, so there's another fence. But there's quite a bit of room over here, and then there's an empty lot on this side, so this is a little bit truer to how it is. This tree probably could be, you know, huge. It's a eucalyptus in real life. This is a mesquite, which at least is another type of tree that exists out here. That's the closest I could get in the game. So yeah, we're going to save like the full actual landscaping for a different time. But here's what it looks like otherwise for now as a starting point. You know, you come in here, there's a living room, there's a very small bathroom, which is my bathroom, quote unquote. It's the guest bathroom, but most of the time it's just me. Then there's actually a room below my room, and mine's a little further up, but, you know, with platforms and stairs, we are constricted by the Sims a little bit. Then we've got a kitchen. We have a little laundry area that's not for laundry in the Sims, because I don't have that pack. And then my mom's room and her bathroom. She has, like, a bigger shower tub combo. Mine just has a shower. And then there's the coffee room, which, like, in reality, I love this room. I think it's really cool. It's a really great addition to this space, but this is not really what it looks like. And that's okay, but I think I like this too. I'll probably, if I actually play in this build, I'll play with it more and continue to make all of this look, you know, different. I don't know, spend some more time on it. But for now, for a fairly quick build, I say fairly quick, and it was 2 hours plus the 15 minutes that I just spent on it now doing more, and I haven't even done the landscaping yet. But, you know, basically, that's the build. Thank you so much for watching. I am excited about the new updates that are coming up with the new Lovestruck expansion pack. There's going to be a base game update that is adding different relationship features to the base game Sims in the way of boundaries and, like, how jealous they are or not. So we can do different things like polyamorous relationships, casual dating, So your sim can actually like be going on dates with different people and kind of trying to figure things out without any of them just becoming immediately super jealous, and without having to use reward traits or like the neighborhood action plan from Eco Lifestyle, which not everybody has. So I'm really excited for that. From the time I'm recording this, that update is coming out next week. Hopefully I'll be getting this uploaded in the next couple days here whenever I finish editing it. But I also shared on both of my channels and in my Discord and on Patreon about Simmers for Palestine. Lil Simsy, Kayla, was inspired by the Creators for Palestine fundraiser and decided to do a Simmers for Palestine one. So I'll have the link for that in the description. They're raising money for Palestine Children's Relief Fund. The fundraiser has been ongoing all month, but the big live stream that Kayla's planning for people to participate in is later this month. I think it's the last weekend of July 2024. I'm not doing my own separate campaign within that. I'm just sharing the main link. Please go share it around so that other people know about it. Donate if you are able, but if not, please at least share it around so that people know that it is happening. The more people who see it, the more chance that there is for people to be able to donate even a little something. Every little bit helps. So I wanted to try to get some Sims stuff done this month, both because I'm excited about updates, but also because there's a Simmer-specific fundraiser going on, and so I thought I would let more Sims players know about it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye. That's the outro I say for my main channel. I haven't decided if it's going to be different here, but keep it easy for me and just say that.